Wealth could give us peace of mind and happiness, but ironically, we sacrifice our peace of mind and happiness to become wealthy. The truth is, we feel peace and happiness only when what we say, and what we do are in harmony. So, for any reason, if one of these things are not in conjunction with the other two areas, such as our thought, our words, and our actions, so that creates conflicts, and this is how it becomes the source of unhappiness and unfulfillment, and of course, lack of money and wealth. And at the end, we know the result is not being at peace. So today, I want to talk to you about values, our golden values and our shadow values. But before that, I want to give the credit to this topic to my mentor, Benjamin Harvey, the co-founder of Authentic Education. He taught this concept very well, and definitely I will put a link to his material in the comment section below. But I'm going to add, obviously, my intake on this topic and how that helped me create wealth and my clients. So then you will be more in tune with your values and your shadow values and how is it related to your wealth creation. Hi, my name is Helya Singh and welcome to my show, Wealth Coaching with Helya Singh, the fastest way to build wealth. Helya Singh, and if you're watching this episode, we really thank you, and please don't go anywhere because you're going to learn a lot today. So please have your pen and paper ready because we have a few exercises to do and some notes to take. And this is another topic or episodes of Wealth TV, and we have dedicated our program just to help others to create a wealth in an unconventional method. So as a finance advisor with more than 20 years experience, people expected me to every time come and talk about either property, shares, fundamental analysis, technical analysis, and other things. But we know very well we can find them anywhere. And I'm putting whatever that I found out, the reason that why people are not reaching their financial goals and how to tackle it. So that's why our Wealth TV is more about working the fundamental, because the rest, the technical one, is very easily done. And because then by that time you will be inspired to do it. You don't have to be motivated. And again, do you know that what's the difference between being motivated and inspired to do something? So let me tell you. When we are motivated to do something, is that when our values or what we believe we want to do is not in our top priority, just because others told us to do so, or society is dictating us to do it. But when you are inspired to do something, no matter what, you will keep doing it. And that's why the comment that I get from many people that, aren't you tired? Don't you get tired? Why are you still doing this? It's just because, honestly, I'm inspired to do it. It's not that because I have to do it or I make myself to do it. So I want to talk about now more about these values and golden values and shadow values. Imagine it this way, our golden values and shadow values as a two sides of the same coin. You can't separate them. Imagine this sitting like a chip on our shoulders. If we are just doing our actions, do whatever we want to do and pleasing this ego of our golden values, obviously the shadow values or dark values feel neglected, and no wonder it will creep in a different area of our life to show their importance. But we need to have a balanced life. We can't deny our shadow values. Everybody has, even the famous Mother Teresa has. We all are doing something to feed our ego, and it just needs to be in harmony and in balance, or the way that Benjamin says is in neutralize our values. So if you want to do something but you don't have it, or you haven't got what you really wanted in your life, So these are some things, some exercises you can do to find out why you haven't got it. So I want you, and I know it's a very different question, but please write it down and think about it later. Let's say if you're looking at the money issue, because after all our show is about wealth creation. If you talk about money, if you think about money and ask yourself this question, what is the upside of not having enough money? I know this may actually bring to your mind that there is no upside. I want the money. I mean, how more clear I can be. But believe me, if you don't have enough money, that as much as you think you deserve to have or you should have, write down this question: what's the upside of not having enough money? So, and I'm sure, because I've seen people coming with many answers. Some people, they say that, okay, because if more money means more tax, more money means more worries, more money means being away from family, or you don't have time, for other things, and also you don't want to become mean person. So eventually that means that in your brain, in your thought, you are putting more money equal to more problem. Even though you say you want more money, or you are taking different courses or studying or trying to learn different ways to create money. But you see, your thoughts, your words, and your actions are not in harmony. Imagine this is as a three-corner of a triangle. If one triangle is your thought and one is your words and one your actions, if one of the triangle is not closed and you are not in charge of it, that means the wealth in the middle is just going down the drain through that channel. For example, if let's say you truly believe that, of course, you deserve money, you want to have money, and money means freedom and everything, but and also you say it, but your actions are not matching your ambitions. So that means, okay, through that channel, because that lack of actions, you are losing money. I'm sure you heard from many people that they say, I make a lot of money, but I don't know, it just vanishes, it goes away, So this is exactly the reason, because that triangle is not in harmony, it's not close to keep the money there. The harmony between thoughts and words and your actions is actually the philosophy of Zoroastrian religion, which is from my ancestor time. And even Mahatma Gandhi said that the secret to happiness is once what you say, what you believe, and what you do are in harmony. You see, if you really adopt this thinking, that's going to help you in many areas of your life. So that's why I suggest you draw that triangle, put the wealth or whatever you really want inside it, and put in every corner of that triangle the thought, the word, and say, and stick it on the wall or somewhere that you see it daily. So next time you complain in your mind or you have an internal conflict, you can refer to that and see what's the problem, and then catch yourself in the act, because only you could help yourself to get better and become better, because that's what the self-development is. We may go and read many books or go to seminars or listen to episodes such as this to help us, but at the end of the day, the work happens inside you, so you are in charge of that. So that's why the belief that we are having in our lives, of course, it comes through our tribes, our families, our ancestors, and even the culture and society we live in. So those beliefs, these are actually the long-lasting beliefs that becomes values. It shows itself as a values, and society obviously dictates us that some values are good. That's why we refer to them as golden values, and some values bad. That's why they say it form a bad character. For example, let's say look at the charity. Obviously, every society consider charity as a very good values, helping others. But at the same time, if you say that, okay, I do the charity because I want attention, being attention seeker, considered a bad attitude or character. So that's why nobody wants to say that, yes, I'm helping charity because I want the attention. You see, we all try to wear a mask every now and then to sugarcoat our behavior because society wants us to do so. So, for example, if I come out and say that, yes, I went to this charity, or last year I went for a run for the cancer and raise money, of course, I did it for my mom, I did it for my family, that was just to help others. But I cannot deny that inside me there was something. And as long as you are in tune with that, you know what your dark values or shadow values are getting from that action, you will always be in conflict. You see, these two, the golden values and shadow values, they have to have the harmony. So that's why if you want to influence yourself or others, you need to influence their dark values or shadow values, because only through that they're going to take inspired action. Otherwise, if you just have to talk to their golden values, because you don't know what's behind their shadow values, so that part is going to always creep in and tell them to stop them or not help them to move on. And then we are looking at different characters that we have in life. So, when people label others such as, okay, this person is rebellious, or they have that superiority, character, or they want to be always in authority, or they want to always belong to someone, they're needy. So nobody likes to be labeled these things. So, and if you hear any of these words and that triggers you, the most chances this is one of your ways that you can find your shadow values. So before you go and try and judge others and think that, okay, what is that person's shadow value is, I suggest you look inside, look in the mirror and try to find the shadow values of the person who you see in the mirror. Because that's going to help you find out what motivates you, what inspires you. And then if anyone says anything that you used to get triggered by that or get frustrated or angry, so now you just accept it and say, oh, interesting, this person can see through me. And it's only about being aware of who we are and what we do and just neutralize it instead of getting mad and react or defend our behavior or justify our behavior. So this is something you need to do for yourself. So what is it that triggers you? Write it down right now. So whether you want to influence now others, so again, ask them the same question or observe what triggers them. But just remember, for this exercise, one thing you need to do is please leave the judgment aside. No shame, no guilt. Because I know in the beginning it's not easy to admit that we want attention, especially if you are or you consider yourself that you are highly educated and enlightened because you read many self-development books or you've been to many seminars and others look up to you. Nobody likes to admit about their dark values, but as soon as you at least admit it within you, that's going to help you to be in peace. You may ask, what is all of this got to do with money and wealth creation? Hanging there, we are getting there. These are just the fundamental work, to get to that level. So remember, the golden values are the ones that get praised, they are shiny, and everybody says, well done, good job, great job, or getting even, award for it or, nominations for it. But the bad one or the dark one or the shadow values is the one that people don't want to talk about it. Nobody has got the courage, not everybody got the courage to come out and talk about it. And if you are interested, by the end of this show, I'm going to share with you one of my shadow values, so you'll see how it's helping me now to use it in terms of other areas of my life. So when I ask people about why they made a bad or poor financial decision, so obviously they'll come up with many justifications, such as blaming others, blaming their advisor, blaming their parents, they're blaming government, interest rate, and now COVID-19. So there are many things to blame, and nobody wants to take responsibility for their own actions. So, but write down what frustrates you in that sense, because if the way that you made a decision, financial decision, and it turned out it was a bad decision, because sometimes people, they actually make a good decision, but in the middle they just pull out because they're so scared, they hear other things, and they just too soon they put a stop on that investment, and that's why they come out with a big loss. And later on, when they look at it, they say that, okay, if you think about, let's say, shares, what do you think? And that really frustrates them and makes them mad. They say, oh, I don't believe in it, it's bad, blah, blah, because I was one of those people too. So, but the reason is because that decision threatened the shadow values. Because nobody wants to do something or take action that is not helping them. This is the universal, of course, agreement that everybody, whatever they do, they think is serving them in a way. But if you think that, okay, that decision you made was actually wrong, it's just because your shadow value is you want to be always right. So that's why you are seeking wisdom. So if you're just one of those people who always want to read and increase and improve your knowledge, that means that your shadow value is to be right, because you hate to be wrong. You hate that somebody says that you were wrong. So that's the part. So this is so tricky, and at the same time very elegant way you can find out what's your values and what does it mean, what's the shadow value, what's the other side of the coin here. So let's say if you always wanted freedom, or you think freedom is one of your big values or top values, that means your shadow values, or the other side of coin, means you want to be in control. Another one, if you think that your value is abundance, so that means your shadow value, or the other side of the coin, means that you love money, which nobody likes to admit that they love money. So that's why they say, okay, I want financial freedom, I want money to help my family or charity or something, which is beautiful, it's nice and admirable, that's that kind of talks. But the reality is, if saying that is not helping you to create the money or wealth that you want, is not inspiring you to take the action, means is not one of your top values. You are just telling yourself because the society wants to hear it that way. But if you find out, let's say, your this love of money, or your shadow value is about being in control, when you are in control, you decide who to give the money to. So then now write it down this way. If by finding my shadow values, your shadow values, how that's going to help you to create more money. And that way, by writing it down, and I suggest you write it at least 100 reasons that why this reason, or making money, for example, is helping you to getting more control, because you already found out that's your shadow value. Or if your shadow value is to be authority, so why making money, or how making more money help you to get more of authority. By the time, I promise you, you finish the 100 reasons, you are so inspired that you want to get up and do something about it, because you finally giving all the attention to the shadow values that you've been neglecting it, and you even want to admit that this ego, this part of you, has needs, and you need to, of course, pay attention to it. One more thing, value works in hierarchy, meaning, so you can't just say that, okay, my values are freedom and that's the only value I have. Everybody has different values. And in the same way, you have many shadow values. But when I say hierarchy is, depends on which one dominating the other one more. For example, if you are a rebellious person or you are an attention seeker, okay, I think attention seeker is going to be more related to many people. Let's say if you are an attention seeker person, you found that, and of course you didn't want to admit it in the beginning, but you put aside judgment, shame, guilt away, and you finally, agree that yes, I'm an attention seeker. You can loud and clear smile, look in the mirror and say, yes, I'm an attention seeker. If you got to that level, to that freedom, and now find out that, okay, because that why you are putting so much money or buying brands, and different brands, whether it's a clothes, jewelry, cars, or something. And at the same time, if somebody says to you, okay, come and do this course or buy this or get a coach to help you with something, you say, well, I don't have enough money. I need to have more money to do so. But when I see it with the people, when we go through their budget and we talk about all this area, and I say to them that, look, it's interesting. You have money to go buy, that brand, handbag or jewelry, but you don't have money to hire a coach to help you get better. I mean, I really don't get it. You are a smart, educated person. Please help me to understand this behavior. And when we dig deep and we go through this exercise, we found that, okay, this person loves, obviously, those brands because they are attention seeker. They want to get attention. But at the same time, when I bring it to them, say that, how about if everybody in the world has the same handbag? Would you still want it? And immediately they say, no, I'm not interested in it at all. Because what's the point of it to have something that everybody else has? You see? And then I tell them that, look, now making money or having a coach to help you get to where you want it to be, look at that and right there, how by getting that, doing this, is going to help you to get more attention. And of course, in the beginning, they resist and they come up maybe with a couple of more reasons. But once they are enrolled, so they write down many ideas that, yes, if I do that, then I can tell others that I've got a coach and I'll get more attention. And they come up with these fascinating reasons that how by doing that, by just shifting their behavior or their habit or their expenditure habit, they can actually feed their shadow value. And that's where the change starts. And where when we say the money drops in, exactly they have that feeling that now they know why they haven't got to the level they wanted before. Because before that, they were just doing things to please their golden values, which most of the time they are not even their own values. They've been forced by family and society. But once they connect those actions with their shadow values, that's where they get the inspiration to do so. So if by now you are so inspired to go and do that, so please still stay here. Let us wrap up soon. So just remember, if we don't feed our shadow values moderately, we have to live a life which is half filled. So that's why we experience unfulfillment in life. So, and of course, we don't want at the same time our dark values or shadow values to take over, because nobody likes a person who is egoistic and mean. But if we have that balance and harmony, we not only have no conflict inside us, and also when there is no inside conflict in our outer world, and our families and everyone will be more in peace. So now I wanted to share with you my shadow values, as I promised you before. You see, many people that know me, my family and friends, they believe that I'm a good cook. So, and actually my father-in-law, he thinks that I should open a restaurant one day. So, and of course, I love cooking, I enjoy cooking, but when I went through this exercise myself to say that, okay, I used to say that, yes, my values is to, feed my family well, and of course, to be a good mom. And at the same time, yes, I used to say my secret recipe is love. Because of the love I have for my family, my food comes out good. But reality for me was this, that I loved the attention that I was getting, that I still get when people praise my cooking. So if nobody was praising me, obviously I wouldn't be cooking the same level. And that's why now I know the reason that I'm interested to learn different recipes, or they will cook exotic foods, and that is just to show the attention that yes, you see, I can do this. Of course, the bypass product is my family love it, they enjoy it, and they think, and of course they know I love them, but it's feeding that shadow value inside me. So that's why no matter how busy I am or something, I still manage to find time to do that every now and then. So it's just because that helps me to feed my shadow values. And I'll tell you one more story about myself, that about 17 years ago, when I had my first child, I had to go back to work when my son was 6 weeks old. And of course, people were just feeling so sorry for me. They said that, oh, poor you, how are you going to be away from your son and stuff. And I had this internal conflict inside me, because at the same time I knew that many people, they expect me to be sad and upset and feeling sorry that I have to go back to work. And at the same time I could see that my mom, my sisters, many of my friends, they actually sacrificed their career over their children. But for me, I couldn't wait to go back to work. I love to go back to work, to have my team around me, to do the things that I love to do. And that internal conflict was very painful, because I had to tell others that yes, I'm sad, but I couldn't wait to go to work. You see? But once I found out that part of me is normal, so no more judgment, no more guilt, no more shame around it, so then I was okay with it, that yes, I can still be a good mom, and I still can enjoy what I love to enjoy. And that's the part that I'm talking about, to have a balance between your golden values and shadow values. Because after all, the whole purpose is to feel happy life and feel fulfillment. So if you love this video, please, now you know what's my shadow value and its attention. Please give it a love, like it, and share it with others, and tag friends or whoever you think is going to benefit from this video. We love to bring more different topics around this every month, and I'm sure next month I'm going to have another surprising topic that nobody talks about it when it comes to wealth creation. So hang in there, and I will bring you more topics later. And please put your comments there, see what you want to hear more. And if you want my help to find your shadow values, please bring it on. I'm more than happy to help you there. Until next episode, have a happy, healthy, wealthy life. Hi, my name is Helia Singh, and welcome to my show, Wealth Coaching with Helia Singh, the fastest way to build wealth.